Good morning and welcome to Stamp with Shel. My name is Shel Anderson and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. You can find me on Lunch Break with Shel videos Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon Central Standard Time. Also, I do Stamp Therapy with Shel videos Sunday mornings at 10 and Wednesday nights at 6:30. I'd like to thank you so much for joining me today. Today we are going to be having a play with the Good Feelings stamp set. This is just a happy, positive, upbeat stamp set. And I am pairing it with the gorgeous, fabulous, All About Autumn DSP pack. This is a 6x6 DSP, and we are going to use one sheet for our card today. I have the measurements for you down here. If you want to take a screenshot of that, now is the time to do it. And I'm just going to pull out the parts for our card. Okay, I'm going to slide that off to the side. I'll bring it back in a bit. All right, now I need to score my card base. Our card base is 8.5 by 5.5, and we are simply going to score this at 4 1/4. Here's a little tip for you. I like to use the side of my scoring board. You can do it on your paper trimmer as well, to make sure that I get my cards straight when I am burnishing them. Okay, so our card base today is basic white 8.5 by 5.5. And on the front of the card, we are going to put a matte layer of copper clay. This piece is 4 1/8. Get my glue going here. There we go. This piece is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. I just wanted a wee little border around our card. There we go. Then our DSP layer, check out this paper, isn't that beautiful? Almost seems a crime to cover that up, that foil side, but I wanted the leaf side today. And this piece is 4 by 5 1/4. And once again, we just have a wee little border. All right, very good. Now, our card base is white, but if you were using another color, you would want to put a 4 by 5 1/4 on the inside. So that's what that was, that if you saw me take that to the side. We don't need that because our card base is already white. However, if you wanted to, I am missing a little piece, there it is. You can take this little strip of DSP that's just an offcut from this and pop that on the bottom of your card, like so. And because we have this, we're just going to use it. All it's going to do is firm up your card and pop this on the inside. There we go. So now there's a little bright, happy place to write our greeting. Now we are going to work on our focal layer. This is basic white. It is 4 by 2 3/4. We're going to do some stamping on this. And I have chosen the thank you greeting. And I am going to pull in my Stamparatus for this. I was going to stamp it with a block, but I think I will get better luck now. This is a funny one. So this and this should be even. And we're going to put that somewhere right about there. And I think we're going to use copper clay ink. Well, that didn't work. As you can see, it is all crooked. So we are going to flip this over. I should have looked on the back of my plate. I probably would have done better had I used a block. All right. We're going to try this again. Let's see where this is going to fall. Somewhere right about there. All right, we'll give it a second shot. If not, I will cut another piece of paper. All right, that looks better. Okay, I'm just going to sit that off to the side. And that kind of looks a little... I've got Pecan Pie from my matte layer. This is 4 1/8 by 2 7/8. And that's going to go on like so. However, I don't know whether you can see on the camera, but I can see through this what I stamped on the back. So I'm going to grab another piece of paper and see if I can stamp it correctly. Okay, I've got another piece of basic white. It is 4 by 2 3/4. 2 3/4 by 4. Let's see if I can do this right this time. Let's ink this up. There we go, that's better. All right. Move this, throw that one in the garbage. That's terrible stamping. All right, now I wanted to put a little piece of ribbon around here, but I don't think that's going to be enough. If I pull my card in here and I just kind of lay it out like so. Well, maybe it will be. Maybe I have two thoughts on ribbon for this card. I have the shiny copper, which is what I think I'm going to use, or I could use the copper clay. And I also have this Pecan Pie as well, but I think that's a little too muted. I'm going to go with this copper. So we're going to glue this together. and go with it. Because the whole idea of this card class today is easy. And so far, other than my stamping oops, this has been really easy. All right, let's take off and add a little bit of glitz to this with this gorgeous ribbon. Let's see if these tweezers will help me out. I think they will. Just hold that little knot for me until I get my hands around the rest of this. There we go. We can just shimmy that wherever we want it. And if we flip this over, I think we should put dimensionals on it. And once I have this where I want it, I think I do, I'm going to put another dimensional right there. All right, let's take off these paper backings. It's cool here in Winnipeg this morning. I've got my big heavy sweater on this morning. We're just going to mat that in the center. So we have this beautiful leaf border all the way around. And then we're just going to trim these tails. Like so. And then I'm going to grab a glue dot or two just to put those in place where they belong. I don't like them flying around all over the place. I'm going to grab one more just to pop under here. There we go. Beautiful. So there is our card so far. Now, this is the piece of DSP that's left over. And yes, you could use that to make another card, but you could also use that to pop on here and decorate your envelope. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to close my envelope like this so I can get right up to the edge nice and tight. There we go. Beautiful. Give that a little back rub. And then I'm simply going to take my snips and I'm going to trim off the excess. This is such a simple thing to do, and it makes such a difference. When somebody receives the card and the envelope flap is all decorated up. Another thing you can do with envelope flaps is you can take a piece of leftover cardstock and emboss it with an embossing folder and then add that to your flap. So this is what I have left out of a 6x6 piece of paper. And because that's so gorgeous, I'm going to keep this piece. I'm just going to tuck it back in my package here. I'll use that on another card. So basically you're using an entire piece of 6x6 except for that little strip. So there, my friends, is our card and envelope. Super easy. Now to embellish this, I'm going to grab the natural sequins and I'm going to use some of these copper sequins. And you could use either one, but I'm going to go with a lighter color copper. And I'm just going to put a big one and two little ones, just like that. There we go. That's it. Super easy, and in my opinion, super beautiful. I would love to get that card in the mail. I think it's gorgeous. So look at your DSP, see what you have, see what you can come up with. And your challenge for today, this is Sunday, is to make a card and send me a picture. Let me see what you're creating today. All right, once again, I'm going to pull this back in so you can see the dimensions. Card base, 8.5 by 5.5. Matte layer, the copper clay was 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. The DSP layer was 4 by 5 1/4. This matte layer was Pecan Pie, 4 1/8 by 2 7/8. And then your focal layer was basic white, 4 by 2 3/4. And then of course the inside was 4 by 5 1/4, and then that little 3/4 by 4 strip that was left over, I just put on the bottom. And then our strip on the envelope. Can't wait to see what you come up with, folks. Have a happy, happy, scrappy day. Bye-bye.